Welcome to the Dazzle D Show, the only show where you will be bedazzled by me, Dazzle D. Not really, but it's fun to think that way sometimes. It's been. I tell you what, this winter has just been endless. I've seen so much snow. Like, it just keeps coming and coming and coming. And where I live, I shouldn't be surprised by it, but my gosh, if it would just stop snowing, I don't know, for a frickin' week, that'd be great. I really need to sell my car. Kind of need some extra money here to pay off some bills. And I'm also trying to build a race car, too, for the drag strip this summer. But it seems like every time the snow melts and I think, ooh, spring's here, more snow comes in. And then we have 2 feet of that crap outside, and it takes forever to dry. And and I have summertime rims on the vehicle that I'm not taking off because I'm lazy and don't feel like doing it. It does have a set of snow tires, though, but I don't feel like taking 4 tires off and switching them around and all that. It's just too much effort. And it's also rear-wheel drive, too, so, in the wintertime, it kind of sucks to drive. I remember driving that thing. Man, trying to get traction on the ice. Oh, yeah, that was a lot of fun. You get people honking at you. Honk, honk. And, I'm just getting all irritated because it's like, I can't move. Stuck. Back end's all fishtailing and stuff. Me trying to go, I'm trying to feather the pedal and stuff. And you got all these impatient people. And it's like, oh, blow it out your butt. But I finally have a vehicle now that has all-wheel drive, which is way better than rear-wheel drive. Oh, man, that rear-wheel drive, it gets a little sketchy sometimes. Especially when you're going up a hill and you start to sway a little bit. And you're like, oh no! Yeah, I had that happen a few times. I'm ready for this week to be over. I really am. I was going to actually do this podcast on a online streaming service. I'm not going to name the name because screw them. It didn't work out, and I'm pretty sure it was a scam, too. And I don't think they have the legal rights to even stream the music that they're playing. And from the last meeting I was in for that company, they were talking about taking the music off CDs and stuff like that. And I'm like, what kind of radio station takes music from CDs and broadcast them that way? It's like a legitimate radio station would, have some kind of modern method to getting soundtracks that don't sound like garbage. I mean, you'd be streaming and, one song would be great quality and then the next song would sound like it friggin' streamed through dial-up internet or something like that. It's just all just terrible quality. And I'm just thinking in my head, it's like, is anybody even going to listen to this, So, yeah. And, I tried asking to see, like, how do we get paid, And that was a big question because it was commission-based. And I was not able to get a straight answer. I just kept getting the runaround, them talking about, how they pay the commission of, like, X percentage. And I'm like, yeah, that's great. I understand that. But how are you getting it to my bank account? That's what I want to know. I couldn't seem to get an answer with that question. It just kept giving me the runaround about how the commission works. And, oh, you want to join the sales team? No, I don't want to join the sales team. I want you to tell me how the money gets to my, side. Do you mail a check? Do you direct deposit the thing? Do you, do you Venmo it? Like, what do you do? I couldn't get that answer. And I'm just like, what is going on here? And then all of a sudden, they gave us 2 weeks. And all of a sudden, there's this big push, for some reason, to get me in my show going. And I'm just like, well, wait, what happened to the 2 weeks? It's been 2 days. Like, what the hell? And, I'm sitting here and I'm making the voice tracks and I'm making the lines and all that stuff. And, it was really great. And I just can't please people. And it's like you gave us 2 weeks to start this show up and you're getting really pushy and trying to, like, get it going in, like, 3 days for some reason. I kept getting told that, oh, if you don't have your show up, we're going to have to give the time slot to somebody else. And I'm like, well, frickin' do it. I don't care. It's not like you're paying me anyways. So, so needless to say, I left them and I am now doing it here. And quite frankly, I'd much rather do it here on my own time because I don't need someone thousands of miles away telling me how much I need to upload or how often I need to upload or, this isn't quite the right format or, blah, blah, blah. I don't care. It's a podcast. Who gives a rip? I don't. It's not like they're paying me. It's not like they're paying me anyways. So, I was just doing this in my spare time. But it's like, I'm not going to sit here and go through these stupid company meetings and all this other crap to not get anything out of it, but yet always be promised that I'll get something out of it. And it's just like, no, I don't play the game here. Plus, I'm sure they're not streaming things legally. So I'd rather not be a part of something when, crap hits the fan and they get sued by someone because, well, they didn't pay their royalties or something like that. I don't need my name tarnished here. I'm already struggling as it is, I got bills, I got these gutters. This house of mine is so old. It's like it was built in 1920. So it's like 103 years old and it's had some remodeling done, but it's not the best. I don't know. They really did a crappy job on the gutters and stuff. And when they took the old ones off, they were glued on to the side of the house. They were these old plastic vinyl gutters, and they were glued on, and it took them 3 days to take it all down and put the new steel gutters up that were seamless. And there was also wood missing behind the gutters too, so there was nothing to actually screw the gutters into. So instead, they had to replace the wood. Well, actually, put wood in there that was missing, and I still have problems with it dripping in spots behind the gutters, and quite a few areas actually. There's this giant icicle outside my window. It's about halfway down my house, and I'm waiting to see if it's gonna make it to the ground or not, because it is freaking huge. Yeah. And then they told me my roof is needing replaced, even though when I bought this place like 2 years ago, they said that the roof is good for another 10 years. But the problem is when they put the roof on this house, they put asphalt shingles over top of the cedar shake shingles. So my house has like double the shingles, but not in a good way. Yeah, my house has the shingles. It's terrible. it's a big old rash of a mess up there. The drip edge around the roof is just, it's lifted up because water has gotten in underneath and has caused some lifting and issues with the edge, and it's a mess. And, trying to get the money for that is going to be expensive. I know it. Everything is so expensive right now. Like, if my good looks could get me places in life, which they don't, but if they did, that'd be awesome. But thus far, they have gotten me nowhere. So here I am, once again, trying to figure out a new approach to getting money, and it hasn't been very successful. But maybe we'll see. Maybe I'll flip over a leaf and, find the magic money bug underneath that will just, shower me with gold and silver and crypto. Oh, don't get me started on that crypto stuff. I tried that junk in 2020, and yeah, I wasn't too great at the whole stock market stuff. And of course, I fell into that little trap of, waiting for Elon Musk to pump it up. And then I somehow always missed the timing, especially with the whole GameStop thing. Everybody was going on to crypto. Oh, look at me. I put $200 in. I can't wait to get rich. And then they don't get anything. I was one of those dummies. Yeah, so I don't even bother with that anymore. Plus, I don't really like, having to deal with the taxes in crypto, and it's just like, no, this isn't worth it for me. And plus, this isn't like even real, so it's like, I got better things to do than that BS. Oh, I'm ready for Friday to roll around. Wanting to sleep in. Just kind of been tired all week. I had a really bad headache yesterday. I don't know what I caught. I just, like an hour before I went to bed, I just got this migraine out of nowhere. And when I went to sleep, it's weird. Sometimes when you're sleeping, you feel fine. And then you like change position. And all of a sudden, this wave of pain just goes through your skull, man, and then your head is just like bumping. Like, oh gosh, that was happening to me all of that night. What day is it? All of Monday night, and then Tuesday, I just woke up and my head was just killing me. And, I tried taking pain pills and stuff, and it didn't help a bit. The pain was there. It wasn't going away. It was a permanent resident, and it was not fun. It's very rare for me to have a headache where it's like, an ibuprofen or Tylenol or anything just doesn't work. But I was able to get my headache to go away after I had a chai latte. Boy, those chai lattes, I can't get enough of those. I used to be a coffee addict really bad. Oh, thanks, Dad, for getting me started on that. I never used to care about coffee shops and things like that. And then one day my dad gave me this gift card, and I made the mistake of walking into the coffee shop. And I got myself some kind of latte with chocolate, and all of a sudden I was addicted. Oh, God. Couldn't stop drinking it either. So yeah, I gotta be careful trying new things. Sometimes it can be a little dangerous. It could be really dangerous. Maybe that's why I'm broke. Well, maybe, part of the reason, I don't know. Everything's just so expensive right now. But it's just like, you gotta have something to brighten your day up, I mean, yeah, you go to the coffee shop once a day. You're paying about $4 or $5, depending on where you go and what you get. But, it's just, I like getting a chai latte because, number one, it doesn't have any caffeine in it. Well, I think it might, but just a very small amount. I had to stop drinking coffee after a few years. The last time I drank coffee, I thought I had the flu, and it put me out for a couple of days. I don't know why I have that reaction to caffeine, but it does this thing to me where I just get these massive headaches, and if I get too much of it, I actually get a fever, and I get super tired. It's the weirdest thing ever, and I get all lethargic and foggy up in my head, and I hate it. I don't know. Coffee does not do it for me. Actually, caffeine in general. I can't drink soda. I can't drink coffee. Pretty much cannot go near an energy drink. I might probably die if I had one of those. I don't know. And then the other thing that, happens to me is I get the heart palpitations. And, I really don't like that. There was a couple of times I thought I was having a heart attack while I was driving, all of a sudden I'm just like, cruising along down the highway, and then boom, 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 boom. I'm like, what is going on? Oh, yeah. Start getting lightheaded and your heart's just like, and you're just like, what is going on here? I had an EKG done, and everything checked out fine, but occasionally I still have it. Once in a while, kind of like do a double beat or just some weird, strange thing. It freaks me out sometimes. But it was nothing like when I was on, all that coffee and stuff. I drink that latte, and all of a sudden it just, oh man, I start backfiring. Ugh. So yeah, I quit drinking coffee for that reason. And then I switched to lattes. Well, my intention was to stop drinking coffee completely. But then I switched to lattes because I'm a fatty and had to get more freaking sugar. And then I drank, and then I drank a bunch of chocolate milk. And I used to be skinny at one time. I used to weigh 135 when I was like 20. And then college rolled around and yeah, I got fat. Capital F and fat. Now I weigh like 200. And I know, yeah, I'm complaining about weighing 200 when other people weigh way more. But you know what? I got my own problems too that they matter to me. It's not all about you, people. I'm kidding. Yeah. And last year, I gained more weight. And it was probably and now that I look back on it, it was a really stupid thing to do. So I used to do, let me backtrack a little bit. I used to be an IT technician. I did that for 3.5 years, and my last IT job at the law firm burnt me the fuck out to the point where I had so many issues at that place. I was just done with it, So I put my notice in at that place. I didn't have a job lined up. I didn't have, any of that. I just bought a house. I didn't have a job lined up. It was a really, really risky move. But at the same time, I had this boss breathing down my neck and had 2 weeks to get my numbers up and all this other garbage, which I'll go into detail in another episode when I feel like talking about those, great career experiences. Ugh. But yeah, I just flat out put in my notice and just left that joint, blew that popsicle stand. I was done with it. And, it took about a month before I found another job, and I was just frantically applying to just everything that I could find. And I really didn't want to go back into the help desk. I was sick of help desk. I was sick of being the glorified telemarketer. It really was not fun, because every time somebody calls you, their computer's either on fire or their, something is just like blowing up. They'll call you and they'll be like, oh my God, my computer's on fire. Help me. They expect you, I swear, sometimes to reach through the computer with your hand and fix the problem. And it's not always that easy, And you get, 50 different people to 100 to 200 in a day. They're all frantic. They're freaking out. They're being rude to you. They're just treating you like crap, and you're having to deal with all this. And at the same time, also, intercept the tickets that are coming into your board and stuff. And you're just like trying to juggle so many things. And at the end of the day, you just get so burnt out. It's just like, I just can't do this. And there's other things that led me to quitting that place, which I'll go into in another episode. But yeah, during that period when I was unemployed, Dazzle D made some very poor decisions with his eating habits. I was drinking True Moo chocolate milk, and then I had the Big Train vanilla chai latte powder, and I was drinking chocolate milk and a latte. I mean, I was committing carbicide. I gained, I think, maybe 5 or 6 pounds in a month. I don't exactly remember how much I gained, but it was quite a bit of weight. which is the reason why I have stretch marks, because, you know, when I blow up, and this belly just can't keep up. Yeah, it's battle scars. Buffet 101. I got this scar right here from the chai the other day. This one on my back from that chocolate milk. I'm a warrior. I've defeated this sugar beast. Yeah. And then I got a job, and yeah, I'm just all stressed and panicked. And when I get stressed, I eat. And it's not a good way to handle stress. I don't know. I'm thinking I should go to a therapist one day. I just don't know how to regulate myself very well. I cannot channel the energy. It's really hard when I'm pissed to channel the beast within me. So either what happens is I start picking at my cuticles, or I start eating, and then I am my own worst enemy, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, if I would have just hit the gym like my original intention, instead of sitting around moping all day, being depressed, not telling anybody that I'm not even employed, I could have maybe actually lost weight and would have been in better condition. But there is one thing that I have improved on, and that is I don't drink chocolate milk anymore. I am sick of that stuff. I mean, I'm not sick of it, but I'm sick of the way it made me feel. I drank so much of it at night that I would get, I don't know, I'd just crash. It was like a caffeine crash, except it was like immediate, and I think it's because the sugar would hit me, and it would make me sleepy. And since I stopped doing that chocolate milk every night, I don't have those issues with my energy levels and stuff. Like right about now, I'd be passed out. You know, I get off work and I'd be just tired as could be. And it was bad. And then I stopped drinking that stuff, and now my energy level is just phenomenal. It's just great. You know, so sometimes a little small change in your diet can make a huge impact. I know it did for me. I haven't lost any weight, but as long as I don't get any fatter, I think I can manage. Of course, I bought all these shirts and stuff, and then I bloated up like a whale, and then nothing fits now, so gotta go back and buy more clothes. Or maybe, hang on. What are you two doing? Darn cats. Always in the things. I got 2 cats. Their names are Astro and Orbit. I'll bring them into an episode another time. They're pretty crazy. And they like to chew on my stuff. Well, I think Orbit does. Caught him chewing on my foot stand at the end of my couch the other day. I don't know what it is with him. He likes to eat my furniture, and I get mad because it's like, stop eating my stuff. Between that and the other cat likes to eat plastic. And I don't know where he finds the plastic pieces from, but he'll be over there chewing on it and stuff. And he already swallowed plastic once because I found plastic in the litter box attached to, a log. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, you guys have to stop doing this. I mean, I feed him a lot. I do. I feed these 2 frickin' cats a lot of food. And they're always hungry, and I don't think they have worms, but oh my gosh, they're just such pigs. I don't know, they're just such hogs. But they're cool. Yeah. Well, I'm going to end this podcast because I'm starting to run out of things to talk about. And that this is the first episode. So the pilot episode is not that great. The trailer's even worse, but hopefully you enjoyed at least some of my story this evening. I'm going to sign off now as I don't want to bore you more. Eventually, I'm going to have some social media pages set up for this. I get an email going too. That way you guys can contact me and, tell me about yourself or, suggest topics to talk about, things of that nature, and, Just whatever you want me to discuss. Just don't do politics. I don't care about politics. There's too much discussion about it. We need to talk about something else in this world because you can't control it. Yeah, you can go out and vote, but, well, that's whatever. But eventually I'm going to have my system set up here. I was going to have it set up with my other show, but after today, things turned sour. So I started this up, and yeah, now I'm just going to have to kind of restart myself a little bit. Thank goodness I didn't get too far into it with the other place because it was not worth my time. But I digress. Anyway, this is Dazzle D, and you're listening to The Dazzle D Show. Tune in. Oh, man. I am bad at this. I got to edit this here. This is Dazzle D. Tune in to The Dazzle D Show again tomorrow here on the podcast channel or Spotify or whatever you call this platform. I don't know.